Hello, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect. This is a general reading for all the fire signs for the next 7 days. That's Leo, Aries and Sagittarius. I did have Leo come through on the dice specifically, and we have got the 7th house of relationships, marriage, partnerships, agreements, and the South Node, saying that there's something we may need to let go of. And this is confirmed by the Oracle card, which is clear out the old. Let's have a look at this one. Whatever you're experiencing now is a creation that you have brought into existence from past thoughts and feelings. While in this moment it may have you caught up, you can let go and begin to dream of a new reality. Let go of the aspects of this creation that no longer serve you or have a purpose. Release what has gone wrong in the past. Release also any material possessions that do not serve the new dream you now want to create. Know that where you are now, you can create anew and begin again. So we have got the South Node, and it is all about letting something go, dissolving something that no longer serves us. The archetype of the fire signs for this week that I'm reading for, and do bear in mind it can be a flipped reading, it's got the owl spirit in the upright. You can see clearly now. The badger spirit reversed, be fearless and bold. Now, sometimes the be fearless and bold when it's in reverse is a lack of courage. Not feeling that with this combination. I'm actually saying that we're seeing somebody a little bit more clearly now. That might be, you know, an event or something that erupts, because I'm seeing that I feel some conflict coming through. And it may well be that, yeah, there is an experience with someone, or there's just something you see a wee bit clearer this week that may allow you to kind of let something go. So the owl sees in the dark and is guided by their own, you know, senses. Particularly intuition is going to be on point this week. You might be receiving a lot of messages from lots of different directions. I think there is actually intentional misinformation here in the 3D, if you like. So it's telling you to be aware and pay attention to what's between the lines, because I think there is deliberate misinformation. Maybe even misdirection in some way. So when your senses are this aroused or this on point, and you're going to be able to see the truth of something very clearly. And with the badger being reversed, this might be who or what you're seeing the truth of. Now this obviously can be an aspect of yourself, or it can be another person. When the badger is reversed, this speaks about anger, aggression. It's very argumentative behaviour. Now that is a fire sign trait. You know, do like to be competitive, like to stir things up, they like a bit of action. So it could be recognising this in yourself. So like I say, coming back to clear out the old, the situation is in some way suggesting that it is a creation you've brought into existence. So maybe you have fought fire with fire, or yeah, whatever it may be, it's either you or it's someone else. This can be somebody who's very pushy, who can be manipulative, and if those are, you know, attributes you're displaying, they're not going to serve you for the next 7 days. They're not going to be helpful in this situation. But yes, it can be someone else who is being maybe very excessive, very aggressive. There can be a lot of pent-up anger and aggression. So we have to slow things down and let it pass through you, possibly be a little bit less reactive to whatever this is, kind of shake it off. Now, because I am reading for the 7th house of relationships, I do get the vibe that this is another person, and this may be someone who who might push your buttons this week for whatever reason. The King of Wands. Now, normally in this position, this is who I'm reading for, and I am reading fire, so please do bear that in mind. The King of Wands is in reverse. Now, in reverse, this can be someone who is aggressive, who is very egotistical, who is super arrogant. It can even be a bully. But with the archetypes of the hedonist and the Samaritan, and again, they're both in reverse, this sort of gives you an idea who this chap is. Now, I mean, indulgence is coming through strongly. You know, again, excessiveness. This can be very pursuing pleasure, the hedonist, but it's with regards to no one else or nothing else. Can be very greedy as well. When the Samaritan's in reverse, this can say that this is somebody who will help someone else, but it's at the detriment of someone or something else. But the overriding impression I get is a feeling of self-importance, you know, entitlement. And this will be somebody who will determine who he thinks is deserving of whatever, and he'll be right. Yeah. No two ways about it. So it's just an incredible amount of fire there, and it's in reverse, so it's misused in some way. It's misdirected. It's not harnessed properly. It's, yeah, and this, I've got the magnifying glass in the book. Now this is someone who can be looking for information. I'm getting a kind of very snoopy person here. Or they may be trying to find information or uncover a secret. Or this may be what's happening with regards to this person, is that we're actually seeing something that we, you know, didn't have access to before for whatever reason. I'm just getting the feeling this is a really kind of snoopy kind of person. The only card in the upright from the tarot is the Six of Wands, the Ace of Swords reverse, Nine of Wands reverse, Three of Wands reverse, more Wands, Five of Cups reverse, and we've got a face plant right down here with the Queen of Wands reverse. So this could be who the relationship is with, the King and the Queen of Wands. If it's not you, it might just be people, you know, fire signs, for example. But the Ten of Swords at the base of the deck in the upright is saying that there is possibly a betrayal here. I think that is the case with the snake, or it is a painful ending. Painful ending, but it's just, you know, it's a face plant, because I think someone here is very much ahead of themselves, if you know what I mean. The Ace of Swords in reverse, so this is lying, lacks power, lacks information. It can also be like things are kind of, you know, slipping away. Information, I just feel it's lack of information, or it is misinformation. And obviously I don't know if it's intentional or not, but what it is doing is it's spreading. So it can be quite gossipy. I don't have the gossip card, but that's the vibe I'm getting. With the clouds here is suspicion, it's doubt, it's confusion, it's, yeah, it's a disturbance. It's like there's a disturbance in the air, in the information, in the communication. And the stars, it's not something that's, you know, destined or hopeful or a dream. It's about things that's spreading. There's a lot of it, a lot of confusion in terms of communication. So either it's intentional or it's not, I'm not sure. But given who this guy is or what this guy's about, it could very well be intentional. The Nine of Wands down here is in reverse. So with the moon, I'm feeling this is someone who's a bit paranoid. Seriously paranoid. This may be somebody who thinks a lot of people are talking about them, or a lot of people are talking about them, and that is actually making them a bit paranoid. But when the Nine of Wands is in reverse, can sometimes mean, you know, that we don't have to be as careful of our boundaries. I feel it's more kind of lack of boundaries. I feel this is somebody who oversteps the mark because of their archetypes. And because the badger is here. So this is someone who could be, you know, pretty aggressive. I do think it's coming from a place where someone wants to be successful and wants to be seen, and maybe even wants to win in some way. The Six of Wands, as I say, is the only card that's in the upright, and that is a card of victory and validation, and yet it comes with the snake. And the snake is betrayal. The snake is also jealousy. It's a very selfish, showy, prideful. It's prideful. This Six of Wands isn't success, it is prideful. And, you know, sometimes the snake can just make things really complicated. And again, it creates diversions. It's proper sneaky, it's proper bitchy, and yeah. So I don't think this is who I'm reading for, but this is very much somebody who's likely to be in your environment. And I think this is what we're going to be able to see clearly with the owl. Now, even if there's not an event, you know, that is, you know, crystal clear, that you've had your suspicions, you've had intuitive knocks that they might not be who they sort of portray themselves to be. Intuitively, you just know. And that's what you've not to ignore, because there are nudges, there are messages coming through to you intuitively telling you who this person is and what they're all about. And it's certainly one where we have to be cautious of them when the snake's around, because the snake can actually bite. Sorry, low battery. The Three of Wands in reverse here. Now, that can speak to delays. I feel it's a lack of planning. I feel that somebody is taking some risks here because they are hedonistic and they are self-indulgent and they are pleasure-seeking. And this is a card of pleasure. It's usually gifts, invitations, beauty. I mean, this could be somebody who is taking a risk in terms of putting something out there and making some sort of offer. I think this is somebody who expects to be successful. It's a very complicated person because it's almost like they can't see themselves the way probably the majority of people do, you know. Now the Five of Wands, the Five of Cups reverse, sorry, this is the outcome for the week, and it is in reverse, so that can say that we're where we might have had some regret or sadness around this. I think that's just ending. We're moving towards a direction that involves an ending. Shutting something down, putting things to rest. It's probably super heavy. It may involve a female. This could be a business situation. Now obviously it can be romantic. I'm not really seeing that, but let's just see. Tell us more about the coffin. There we go, the date. Meeting someone new, dating, getting back out there and setting a date. Now it's the planning that's gone awry here. This may be what somebody is hoping to achieve this week, this King of Wands in particular, and that's why they're taking a risk in terms of putting some invitation or offering out there. They may even be sending, you know, a bunch of flowers, that sort of thing. I see this being shut down with the coffin. Karmic relationship, twin flames. There's the Hands of Cards. There's definitely some sort of risk here. This is about taking a chance and taking a gamble, and it's not today. So this can be sometimes still angry about a situation, but it's just not dealing with somebody. Somebody can be hurt. I think somebody's literally going to shut this down. There is resentment here, and there's ultimately something that needs to be let go of, whether it is a karmic relationship, a new person, somebody you work with. It is the South Node. So fire signs, there's something or someone you need to let go of. I think it's going to be easier for you this week because we have the owl. We have the owl. And, you know, the message is to clear out the old and the South Node. And there we go. The she-wolf. Stand your ground. Now that comes up when there are obstacles and difficulties, or, you know, a lot of negative energy sometimes coming at you. So I think you might have to be maybe a little bit more defensive this week. Now the she-wolf can let rip, you know, so I'm not suggesting that's what you do, because I feel that the badger, even though it could represent this person, is more or less saying that anything that's you know, pent up or aggressive or you know, manipulative, it's about shaking it off and calming down and letting it go. The she-wolf speaks about rewilding, returning to our authentic selves, not being afraid to, you know, speak up, state our case, let it all out. So yeah, I ultimately think it's going to put, it's like there's some sort of final nail in the coffin this week for a relationship. The Temple Path is about the right way. So allow yourself to be surrounded by protective energy. And again, it's a wee bit like there is a lot of negative energy around you. There's a lot of arrows, bad energy vibes kind of pointing in your direction, or maybe just in the atmosphere. The Temple Path speaks about support, and it's about doing the right thing, and it's about following your guidance. So I think somebody knows here, or is going to know, and is able to follow their intuition, that ultimately this is not a healthy situation. This is probably not someone that you want to be involved with, and it's probably time to shut it down. It's just too hard. All right, fire signs, you have a great week. Do like, subscribe, and if you would like a reading, my information is below. I'll talk to you soon.